There's something captivating about the mysterious and the unknown. Don't you think? While some of the stories in our list might be fables or hoaxes, there is enough evidence to keep us guessing. Here are 10 creepy unsolved mysteries we can't ignore. Oakville Blobs. On August 7th, 1994, in Oakville, Washington, during a rainstorm, blobs of a clear, gelatinous material, each about half the size of a rice grain, fell at the farm of Sonny Barclift. Soon after, Barclift's mother, Dottie Hearn, became ill, experiencing dizziness and nausea, requiring hospitalization. Barclift and a friend also experienced fatigue and nausea after coming into contact with the blobs. Efforts to identify the substance began with Dr. David Little, Hearn's doctor, who tested the blobs and found they contained human white blood cells. Barclift also enlisted Mike Osweiler from the Washington State Department of Ecology, who discovered the blobs had cells without nuclei. Hesty and Lights. The Hesty and Lights, unexplained nighttime lights seen in the 12-kilometer-long Hesdalen Valley in rural Norway, remain a mystery. These lights, described as white, yellow, or red, appear above and below the horizon, seemingly floating through and above the valley. Their duration can range from a few seconds to over an hour. Sometimes they travel at fast speeds. Other times they drift slowly back and forth. The lights have been seen since the 1930s, with a surge of sightings from December 1981 to mid-1984, with 15 to 20 reports each week. Since 1983, scientific research under Project Hesdalen, led by UFO Norge and UFO Sweden, has aimed to find the cause, though no conclusive explanation exists. Who put Bella down the witch elm? Who put Bella down the witch elm is a phrase that first appeared as graffiti, following an unsolved 1941 murder. On April 18, 1943, 4 boys from Stourbridge were poaching in Hagley Woods, part of Lord Cobham's estate. One boy climbed a tree and spotted a human skull in a hollow trunk. Afraid of getting caught on private land, they left without telling anyone. Feeling uneasy, the youngest of the group later informed his parents, who contacted the police. Investigators found a full skeleton inside the tree, along with a shoe, a wedding ring, and clothing fragments. A severed hand was later discovered nearby. The body was identified as a female, dead for 18 months, but her identity and killer remain unknown. Hopkinsville Goblins. In 1955, at the Sutton family's farmhouse in Christian County, Kentucky, 11 people, including 7 adults, witnessed a strange encounter spanning one night and the following morning. After spotting something strange in the sky, they thought nothing of it until a creature about 3 feet tall with pointy ears, metallic skin, and claws peered through their window. The men armed themselves and fired at the creature, but bullets seemed to bounce off an unseen shield. One creature floated to the ground unharmed. Terrified, the family locked themselves inside as the creature skittered across the roof, peering through windows and causing chaos. Police later investigated but found only scratch marks and heard eerie sounds, making this case a major UFO mystery. SS Urang Madan. In February 1947, ships and listening posts near Indonesia intercepted disturbing distress calls from a Dutch freighter, the SS Urang Madan. The messages grew more alarming with each transmission. The first said, "All officers, including the captain, are dead, lying in chart room and bridge, possibly whole crew dead," followed by unintelligible Morse code and the final message, "I die." Rescue crews located the ship in the Malacca Strait. They found all the officers and crew dead, their faces frozen in horror, arms outstretched. Before investigators could solve the mystery, the ship exploded and sank. Numerous theories exist, but what happened on the SS Urang Madan remains unsolved. Vampire child Mercy Brown. The 1892 case of Mercy Brown in Exeter, Rhode Island is one of the most documented vampire-related exhumations in history, driven by fear of tuberculosis and superstition. Several members of the George and Mary Brown family died from tuberculosis. As Edwin Brown became sick, townspeople believed an undead influence was the cause. After exhuming the mother and sister's decomposed bodies, they examined Mercy, who had been placed in a cold tomb. Her body had no signs of decay, Her hair and nails appeared to have grown, and blood remained in her organs. Though experts attribute this to the cold, no explanation has been provided for her body's condition. Overtune Bridge. Completed in 1895 and designed by H.E. Milner, Overtune Bridge in West Dunbartonshire, Scotland, has gained a reputation for dogs mysteriously leaping to their deaths. Since the 1950s, reports show about one dog per year jumping from the same side of the bridge, always in clear weather, and usually breeds with long snouts. Initially, canine psychologist Dr. David Sands ruled out sight and sound as factors. Instead, David Sexton, an animal habitat expert, found mink and mice on the side where dogs leaped. He theorized the scent of mink lured them. However, local hunter John Joy disputes this, claiming there are no mink in the area. Diatloff Pass. In January 1959, Igor Dyatlov led a group of 9 experienced Soviet hikers into the Ural Mountains. It took 3 months to recover their bodies, found scattered 10 kilometers from their destination. The campsite revealed their hurried departure, as tents were cut open from the inside and essential gear was left behind. Some hikers were found nearly naked, others with major injuries such as skull fractures, missing tongues, and radiation on their clothing. Despite extensive investigation, there was no sign of other people or animals near the site. To this day, the cause of these deaths remains a mystery with no solid scientific explanation. Kulhara. The abandoned village of Kulhara in Rajasthan, India, is believed to be cursed with claims of haunting by former residents. However, the real mystery lies in why the prosperous Paliwal Brahmins left their village overnight in the first place. According to legend, Salim Singh, the state's leader, wished to marry the village head's daughter by force, threatening the village if his demand was refused. Rather than submit, the Paliwals fled, cursing the land so no one could live there again. Today, the ruins of Kulhara stand much as they were left centuries ago, with no inhabitants ever returning. Sculpture of Kryptos. In front of the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, stands Kryptos, a sculpture by artist Jim Sanborn. Its most intriguing feature is its 4 engraved cryptic inscriptions. 3 have been deciphered by a team including NSA cryptanalysts and CIA analysts, revealing a quote from Howard Carter's description of King Tut's tomb, a poetic phrase by Sanborn, and coordinates to a point 46 meters from the sculpture. Despite clues provided, the 4th passage remains unsolved, leaving this sculpture one of the greatest cryptographic mysteries to date. So which unsolved mysteries baffled you the most? Have you visited any of these mysterious locations? Are there any other unsolved mysteries we should know about? Let us know in the comments.